everybody, how's it going? This is Fandom Empire Live. The date is Thursday, January the 28th, 2021. And here we are with another episode of Fandom Empire Live. And I got to tell you, all you wonderful people out there that are listening, watching, however you're intaking us tonight, I was unsure if I'd even be on the air Thursday. And here I am with my dirty, scruffed up hat because cats suck. And we're getting ready to talk some Halloween. That's right. We're going to talk some Halloween tonight. Off the top, we're going to talk about a little bit of movie news. We're going to make an announcement, which the other two hosts on the show don't even know about yet. So that's that's always fun. Hopefully all you guys are having a great, guys and gals are having a great night. And so let's get on with it. Tonight we're going to do our top 10 Halloween masks. Now, the way this is going to work is although like in Halloween H2O there's like 4 different masks, you're only allowed to pick one per movie, So I believe we all made the decision not to include the bandage mask from H4 because that would have skyrocketed up to number 1 on my list. So we're going for the typical Michael Myers masks. So we counted 11 in total when you're not including multiple masks in the same movie. So 10 of the 11 would have made the lists. I have a hunch that all of us may have the same mask not on the list, but we'll have to wait and see if that's true. So what'll happen is Tommy and Kieran will give theirs, and then I'll pull up a slide of mine at the end, and that's how we'll go through the show. Again, we have some movie news to start off. And again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, keep up to date on all the content. And look, if you don't want to, that's cool too. I know some people are not fans of when people say hit the like button or the subscribe button, but at the end of the day, we're out here providing content, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it, or else you probably wouldn't be here. And it does help us if you do those things. We'll do some chat questions at the end of it. We'll get you guys involved with your say. We'll try to pay attention to the chat as we're going through the countdown to get an idea where you guys would be on your lists. But if you want to interrupt the show at any time, feel free to support the channel, send in a super chat, and we'll talk about whatever the hell you want on the super chat. If you want to talk about how Frank Riker has to sit through a Scream movie Sunday night, fair warning, I am still suffering from swelling. If you want to talk about how Frank's got to sit through a Scream movie Sunday, I'm all ears for that. So right out of the top, though, some of you know, because some of you have inquired about this, is when we do our intro credits, there are 3 names that pop up. One is Kenny Mack, the other is Robert Sutton, and the third is Toronto Freddy. They are 3 individuals that stepped forward and supported this channel on another level, basically what we refer to as personal sponsorship packages, that made a financial investment in the channel and what we're doing, and they get certain perks as a kickback, and get a nice little neat logo made for them that appears on the intro and the outro. And again, they get some of the stuff that not even our Patreon supporters get too. So there's that, and we were pretty upfront about we weren't just going to take anybody as a sponsor. We have said no to almost half a dozen people that legitimately wanted to put some money into the channel, and believe me, whether anybody wants to admit it or not, these things do cost money. But it's more so making sure it's the right representation that was supporting the channel. With Robert, he was really passionate about what we were doing and really, really helped us out a lot. Same with Toronto Freddy and Kenny Mack. All those guys are strong supporters of the channel. And so be on the lookout for that. We got a fake Kieran in the chat. So, or maybe it's a different Kieran. I don't really know what's going on there. Anyways, without further ado, though, we said we were always going to look to have 4 or 5 sponsors. We can officially announce we have our 4th. And it's actually one of our own staff members who stepped up and believes in what we're doing here And so Matt Whitfield has stepped up and will be the 4th sponsor on the channel. He selected a 2-year package, and what he is helping the channel with will go a long way. And definitely we appreciate it, Matt, and everything you do around here. And Matt, you can also hear as the co-host on the Camp Haddonfield podcast, exclusive to our Patrons, starting in March. Now, I've had these guys waiting off over there for 9 minutes now. Time to bring them in. First up, from just outside Baltimore, Maryland, Tommy B. What's happening, brother?
Hey, Shawnee G. I am hanging in there. It's been a up and down day, all kinds of freaking twists and turns, but I'm hanging in there, buddy. I'm happy to be here tonight, hang out with you two and the community a little bit, talk Michael Myers mask, praise the wonderful, beat up those just downright bad ones, and have a good time at it. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing, man. From what I understand if you don't want to talk about it on air, but from what I understand, you've had a bit of a rough day, so hopefully this allows you to just sort of forget about that. And although I suppose me bringing it up right now, it doesn't help you forget about it.
It's not that big a deal, but I posted on Facebook. All you folks out there, I'll give you the quick cliff notes real quick.
Kieran Mugdom. Sorry, what?
What's that?
Nothing. Continue.
I don't do anything right now. I don't go anywhere because my workplace is closed and has us working on this weird alternate work arrangement right now. Having said that, when I went to go get my my wallet to go out today for an appointment, it's gone. So it's probably been gone for at least a few days. So I go and I check my credit card account, and I have a fraudulent charge. So, we played around with some things real quick. I got my stuff canceled. I got it all sorted out. And my state made it so we can order a new license online. I drive for a living. That's my income, so I need to get that sorted out real quick. So, we've been through this stuff before. My wife faced something similar, but it's okay. It's been an up and down busy day and some stress I could have really done without in this time where we're all stressing just way more than we should. It is what it is,
Sorry, I was holding up the mask because I have no idea what this It's the 80s is referring to with their show us your Halloween collection. Please reply multiple times. And I don't have a Halloween collection. I have, a few posters around the room and some masks, but hardly call that a collection. I'm far more of a Star Wars collector, but the pieces of Halloween I do have, I cherish very much. Also joining us this evening, he is the host of the upcoming Rick and Morty YouTube show here on the Fandom Empire Network. It is Mr. Kieran. How's it going, man? You don't look like Larry King tonight.
Yeah. But I did notice my hair is a little bit wacky today, and I look kind of like a wrestler in the 80s. Like everybody just had these ridiculous kind of like mullets that just went everywhere.
What wrestler are you referring to?
Sorry?
Are you referring to one in particular?
Oh, I don't know. Just in general, like wrestlers in the 80s always just had like wild hair, like going everywhere, kind of long. Gotcha. Could have been anyone. Gotcha. But anyways, I'm trying. That's why I keep on adjusting my hair, trying to see if I can get it to go. But it's just going to be wild. Whatever. What can you do? I had an all right day. I actually took a personal day today just to get some things done at home. So I dug through the basement, and that's always fun because I basically just go through all my toy bins and don't really get anything done. So that's what happened today. Ooh, I got a drink delivered.
Toronto Freddy's in the chat. Haven't seen him in a few shows. How's it going, man? Hopefully all is well. It's nice to see you, brother. Frank Riker says young Roddy Piper. Rowdy Piper.
That's a perfect example. Yeah, like when he had his movie career that one time. That's kind of what it was like. He had hair like this, and it's it was acceptable at that time.
His match versus Brett at, I don't even remember what WrestleMania was, 5 or 6? Was it 8?
It's 8.
Oh my God. It's 8? That's nuts. Yep. I love that match, though. That match is great.
Good story. It was a good story behind it.
Well, I'll have to get that another time. Okay, so to catch everybody up with what's been going around at these parts, as we announced off the top, Matt Whitfield is a new sponsor here at the channel. Appreciated, Matt. Couldn't be here without guys like you and Robert Sutton and Toronto Freddy and Kenny Mack. It really does go a long way. Also, it was just announced yesterday, if you didn't see what Zach posted on Facebook, we have an untitled Game of Thrones show coming later this year. Tommy and I touched on it last night briefly. Basically what it is it's not going to be a yearly show. It is going to be a yearly show. It's not going to be a year-round show. So we'll pick up sometime in the fall, likely, probably run for 4 months, and then disappear until there's episodes to review of the new series, which should be sometime in the back half of next year. So it'll be something that runs seasonally each year rather than year-round. So we're pretty excited about that because we got a bunch of Game of Thrones lovers here at the channel, and or Westeros lovers, however you want to word it. So that's exciting. We got the Rick and Morty show coming. We have Jade and Kennedy's show, which I believe, nothing official yet, but I proposed the title Cons, Crimes, and Paranormal. And we'll see if that sticks. And so we got a whole lot happening around here. And then don't forget that next Thursday, a week from today, myself, Dave McRae, and Jimmy Champagne are going to just dive headfirst into Halloween Kills and say a bunch of shit that probably a lot of people are not going to like very much. But, sometimes the truth hurts. And, maybe some people will like it. Either way, it's going to be a fun discussion. And it'd be nice to see, because I know he's going to be both of them are going to be plugging it actually on their channels. So it'd be nice to get all three fan bases sort of in the same chat room together. That'll be fun. Anyways, guys, we got a top 10 list. How hard was it for you guys to do your list?
It was hard, and it was not hard. Because, some of the masks I really like, and then some of them that I don't like, it's like, I wish they never made them. Just go rate a reproduction of the OG mask or something, but that's how I feel. I feel very opinionated about some of the masks.
I see. How about you, Kieran? You're muted, buddy. We got nothing on your end. We cannot hear you.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't have a problem with it, except that, like, in my little groupings, I had a hard time. Like, I had a hard time with, like, 7 to 10 and where to put them. And then I had a hard time with, like, the next 3, and then a hard time with the next 3 after that, just because I don't know. I guess I knew which ones I liked, which ones I was indifferent about, and which ones I hated. But then to rank them after that was a little bit difficult. Had to relook at some clips and relook at some pictures and just absolutely go with what I hate without attaching my bias to the actual movie. So.
Toronto Freddy has a great point in the chat right off the bat. There's there's so many like stories behind some of these masks. Basically the story behind Halloween 2 is it's the same mask you see Nick Castle wear in Halloween 1, although it hasn't been killed with cigarette smoke and been under a bed under Deborah Hill's bed more specifically for almost 3 years. And then obviously Nick Castle and Dick Warlock have 2 different shaped faces, so the mask looks a bit different. And you'll notice, actually, and I don't know what the rest of you guys in the chat thinks. This one's out to all you guys. I want to hear what everybody has to say about this. So comment in the chat. I want to know your take. There's lots of pictures from Halloween 2018 where you have Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney together, both dressed up in the Myers costumes. Nick's the shorter one, obviously. James is the taller one. But when they're standing side by side, and there's a ton of pictures, you could Google them really easy and they'll come up. When Nick Castle is standing beside James Jude Courtney, both in costume, does it not look like, even Nick in his old age, that when Nick has the mask on, it's damn near identical to the first Halloween, as it should be, because it's his skull structure, which obviously could have changed over years, weight loss, weight gain, things happen. But it looks really close to the original Halloween. But when you look at James Jude Courtney, when he has the mask on, it actually looks a lot more similar to Dick Warlock in Halloween 2 and how it's, in fact, the same mask, but when you have two different people wearing it, it definitely presents differently. Just want to know if any of the chat has noticed that when Courtney's wearing the mask, it looks more like Warlock than it does Castle. What do you guys think? You notice that at all?
You do notice that in Halloween 1, the guy's face is skinnier, so it's not like puffed in there. And in Halloween 2, it feels like the mask is like over his face and it fits properly, you know? So it makes it wider. And yeah, it has that little yellowish tinge to it. That,
it warped a little bit.
Barely from smoking.
Yeah.
I like the story I heard that Dick Warlock apparently just like put on the mask and like went into the producer's room and just like freaked him out. And he was just like, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" And he was like, "Hey, can I play him in the next movie?" He was like, "Yes." Like, I guess he scared him. He like freaked him out so much that they gave him the part for that second movie.
I've never fucking Frank. Oh my God, I'm watching the chat. By the way, one of the more fun things about doing live streams is paying attention to the chat and what's going on there. And it's not always easy to keep up with. It's really hard to keep up with, in fact. But Toronto Freddy mentioned that Dick Warlock is the shortest actor to play Michael Myers. And Frank Reiger's like, wrong. It's actually Sartain when Sartain puts the mask in. Oh, man.
That was a very interesting character.
He was something, that's for sure. Matt Whitfield says, went into the Rick Rosenthal office. Rosenthal also did Resurrection, I believe. So, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that story earlier today, and it made me laugh. It's funny how things like that could happen in movies back then and never happened today.
The Rusty Lion chimes in with a $2 super chat just to show support. Keep up the hard work. I'm guessing that's a typo. Yeah, keep up the hard work. Well, thanks, man. I don't know if we've seen you around here very often. That's not a username that pops out to me. And if you have been around here a bunch, then I apologize for not seeing you before. But if you're just catching our streams after the fact, then this is your first or one of your first, welcome. It's appreciated. It really is. It doesn't slip past us. Anybody that sends in a super chat gets their question answered. But we also try to take time to hit as many of the normal chats as we can, too. Jade says, Kieran, is that a plastic straw? Well, isn't that what straws are made out of?
I was just typing back to that now.
I'm so lost.
They make paper straws. I don't know if
they're
they
terrible.
Work well, but
they're horrible.
Yeah, A&W, they have paper straws.
Some Tim Hortons are getting them now, too. Ugh. It's awful.
Do they work or what?
I hate them. They just taste terrible.
Supposedly they break down better.
I saw that's what they're there for, because plastic doesn't break down well, and so it's bad for the environment. But I saw a meme not too long ago that has the guy's straw like flopped over, and he's like, "Oh, before I finish," and he's like, "Now I know what my wife feels like." And that's pretty much it.
Wow. Okay. This is probably the time to remind people that this is not a PG show. There's a reason why these live streams take place at nighttime. Yeah.
Talk about a mass murderer, so
fictional mass murderer. Jaden Kennedy get the real job of talking about the real mass murderer, so they can have at that one. Frank Riker says paper straws are like sucking on toilet paper roll. I agree. I hate them. Might be better for the environment, but I hate them. I literally said to Jade yesterday, actually, we actually just bought some more plastic straws, and I was like, we should just go buy like 8 boxes of plastic straws, so when they're inevitably canceled, I'll still have like plastic straws for the next 3 or 4 years.
I'm cool with it. You can buy your own straw too. You can buy like a reusable straw.
Yeah, Jade has them too, metal ones. Ugh. Toronto Freddy, nice little story there. I've met Nick Castle. He's so dope. He'll never forget me because I actually had my own theme music playing from my Bluetooth speaker while dressed as the Shape. That's awesome, man. Good shit. That's a good story. All right, guys. Why don't we dive into some movie news off the top here? Sort of news anyway. We're not going to touch too much on Kill. Like, I'm sure Halloween Kills is going to come up a few times tonight because the Halloween Kills masks were included in our countdowns. At least it was included in mine. I don't know about the other two here. So right off the top, the biggest news that has come out, in my opinion, over the last 3 days is there's a piece of Star Wars news that's actually circulating that we're not going to touch on tonight. I'll tease it for Tuesday. Is we think we might know who the developer is behind that Knights of the Old Republic game. So we'll touch on that one Tuesday. And then Roy Roderick says Fandom Empire and the crew is the best in the game. Well, I don't know about that, but we certainly do our best to put on a decent show. Appreciate it, Roy. But the two biggest pieces of news that have come out is, one, there's a lot of Game of Thrones news right now, like a lot. HBO, aka Warner Brothers, has been sitting on lots of Game of Thrones spinoffs for a while now. They canned the one, which was going to be centered around Naomi Watts, and it was thousands of years before. They wanted to keep it closer to what we saw in the first show. And what we know that we're getting is House of the Dragon has 10 episodes already greenlit, is going to film later this year, and should be released sometime in the back half of next year. That is a Targaryen show, obviously, House of the Dragon. And I believe it's set like 193 years before the events of Game of Thrones. But now we know of three other shows that are in early development. The first one is Duncan Egg. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, that is the Maester from the Night's Watch, the old guy who takes a liking to Jon and Sam. And he's telling stories about him and his brother growing up. He was a Targaryen, so there's a show about the two of them, Duncan Egg, that's in development. And then there's the one that George R. R. Martin said we would never get, but now he's greenlit it, which makes me question if we're ever going to see the end of the books. And that is Robert's Rebellion is in early development too. So that's pretty exciting. And then yesterday, out of nowhere, they announced they're also developing a dramatic anime series, not some fun little goofy adventure, still very much adult content. So Game of Thrones is just dominating the newswaves right now, guys, which is convenient for us because we've sort of had the Game of Thrones thing planned for a while now. Wasn't sure which way Zach wanted to go with it. And then as the news started coming out, it was like, okay, well, might as well drop the announcement now. It makes the most sense. What do you guys think? Excited, worried, desperate? Where's your line of thinking come with all this Game of Thrones material coming? Keeping in mind the three that are in early development. So everything that's not House of the Dragon, there's no guarantee all three of those will see air. It could be one of the three, it could be two of the three, it could be all three. The only one we know that we're definitely seeing is House of the Dragon for one season. Take it away.
I honestly don't know if I'll watch them at all, but that's because there's just such a large amount of TV to watch. That's like really big projects, and like my brother wants me to watch the Watchmen series, and I still haven't gotten around to it because there's so many things on my list here. Like, I would prefer that something like Game of Thrones ends, and I really loved it, and then maybe I'll go rewatch it sometime. But like, I don't need more of it. I really don't need more of it. So I mean, I'll if it's a good show, I'll watch it, because if it's if it pulls you in, you watch it. But yeah. I don't really have an excitement level for it, to be honest. And I really loved Game of Thrones. I watched every episode when it came out on TV at the right time. Like, never fell behind. Liked it, but
Tommy?
So, when I went for Game of Thrones, I watched all but the final season. And I was basically killing a season in a weekend. And I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. With that, though, comes some drawbacks. I binged the vast majority of the series. I'm not nearly as invested as, your average Game of Thrones fan. I loved it. I would probably check out anything that came out. There's the problem with HBO Max, but there's that. But I will admit I'm a little concerned that HBO is really showing all their cards. They're desperate. They're looking for something where they can get a payoff, and I feel like you're taking the chance of just sinking your ship by pushing out all these different projects. Maybe not necessarily all at once, but they got no problem showing their hand right now. So, whenever you see a studio developer, whatever, just showing so much at once for things that are from one universe or are so interconnected and such, I get a little weary. It don't matter if it's Game of Thrones, if it's Star Wars, so on and so forth.
For me, I'm stoked personally because I think there is a lot more story to tell with Game of Thrones. It's such a deep universe that was created. And I still think there's a sequel to do to Game of Thrones years down the road. As soon as it becomes a product of money, you're going to get more of it. It's inevitable if it's successful. It's like, I know Kieran on our Star Wars show the other day, I think you mentioned Thaden was like, yeah, Star Wars should do this and then end it. And it's just like, cool, but it's never going to happen. They paid $4 billion for a reason. And it's the same thing with HBO. If you don't think HBO paid a lot of money for these stories from George R.R. Martin, people are crazy. They did. And they're sitting on potential gold mines. And there are fans in fandom, regardless of what their number one or number two fandoms are, that no matter what they release, people are just going to give it a gold star because it's more content. And I'm not saying everybody's like that. That's definitely not the case. But Tommy and I have definitely experienced people like that. And then they end up coming off of it years later. So, I'm kind of with Kieran on this one. I am excited for it. Where I know Kieran's sort of not. But I'm more concerned whether it can hook me in or not. Because just because it's in the Game of Thrones universe doesn't mean that, I'm going to be hooked to these characters in this story. I think the Robert's Rebellion one I'd be hooked to just because we have a bunch of information and basically be Game of Thrones version of the Star Wars prequels. But, it's the rest of it, it's going to have to earn our time. And the real shitty thing is I bought that book, Fire and Blood, a couple months before they announced the show House of the Dragon. And then we found out that a large part of that book is what the show's about. And I'm just like, oh, shit. Well, I guess I better not read the book now. So it's literally sitting up in my closet just collecting dust. I'm excited, though. But it doesn't mean that, I don't think any of these shows will be as successful as Game of Thrones, but if they can be half as successful as Game of Thrones, I think they'll consider it a win and carry on.
If Sean Bean's in it, that will be a major win for me.
I don't think he'd be. I think he's too old. I think Robert's Rebellion was almost I want to say it was close to 20 years before, might have even been 20 years before Game of Thrones season 1.
They already had an actor play that age. The character at that age too was different. It was different actor. The scene where they stormed the castle.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't look like that anymore.
No, for sure. But I love Sean Bean. But I seen the reunion after the show ended with they're reuniting all the houses and whatever, and Bean could not have cared less about his time on Game of Thrones. And it was actually
he's only up for a season, right? So
it was kind of funny because I think Conan O'Brien was hosting and he's like, so have you kept in touch with any of your castmates? And basically he's like, well, other than and I forget the guy that plays Robert, who was only in it for the first season, but I guess they do some stuff together. But everybody else, no, hasn't seen in like a decade. And the rest of them like, no, we haven't heard from him once. And it was just sort of like this awkward silence on stage. And it was like, okay, that didn't go the way they were expecting it. So anyways, there you have it. Lots more Game of Thrones on the way, or Game of Thrones universe material. And the other piece of news we want to talk about was Ryan Reynolds revealed today that that he and the people that were doing Deadpool 3 prior to Disney purchasing Fox revealed what the movie was going to be about. And for years, there was speculation about this, and everyone just assumed it wasn't going to happen. And it turns out that Deadpool 3 was, in fact, a, like, traveling roadshow movie, sort of on-the-road movie, a road trip, I guess they called it. And it was going to be Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman as Deadpool and Wolverine. And to now know that Disney's basically squashed that, and this isn't like Disney hate. Reynolds just came out and said that, you know, this is not what the plan is anymore. It sucks that we never did get that, because like you see the chemistry whenever Reynolds and Jackman do something together. So hopefully they get to do something else on another project together at some point, because I think they'd be money. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on that? That it was going to be, in fact, a Deadpool and Wolverine movie?
I mean, Wolverine's one of my favorite like characters, like of all time of any universe. So I mean, I can't really get enough of him. I am really excited for a new actor to play him, though. So, I mean, if they came out with something that had to do with Wolverine and Deadpool, and it was a different actor, it probably wouldn't be any less exciting to me than if it was Jackman back, because we've seen Jackman for a long time. I think it's time for someone else to play that role anyways. But I think Jackman did a fantastic job, and they do have chemistry together. There's lots of jokes and gags and pranks going on between them, and they share a lot of funny Twitter jokes back and forth. So obviously it would be great to have them together, but I'm also really excited to see someone else jump into that role, and hopefully it's someone that has a little bit more of I don't know. I feel like Hugh Jackman Wolverine is different than Wolverine is portrayed in the comics. They're two separate entities to me, so I would like to see another take on it. So I mean, it doesn't really. I'm not feeling like, oh man, we never got that movie. It's not really bothering me too much. It would have been cool, but it's not bothering me.
We were also supposed to get like 12 George Lucas Star Wars movies, and that never happened. So, you know, it's just the way the movie industry turns. We get a bunch of, well, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but didn't. Tommy, does this news have any effect on you or nah?
Nah, not really, to be honest. You know, it's a cool concept. It'd be something to see. If we bring Wolverine in the mix, though, for a Deadpool movie, I can't help but wonder, is it really still a Deadpool movie?
You know, that's fair. The same way a lot of people say, is Captain America Civil War actually a Captain America movie, or is it just an Avengers movie, you know? And I don't look at it as a Captain America movie. I really honestly don't. So
the character of Wolverine specifically, I'm concerned will not necessarily overshadow Deadpool, but compete for dominance, and that's not what I want to see in a Deadpool movie. That's my opinion, though, and you know what they say about opinions.
Toronto Freddy says, I just got a proper movie Deadpool figure, like a hot toy, dude. Is that what you mean? Not sure what you mean by that, Fred. Give us a heads up. Also, Frank Riker in the chat says, we did see them together in Wolverine Origins. Thank you for taking that knife and shoving it right through my stomach. Actually, I don't mind that movie, to be honest. I actually found that movie pretty enjoyable right up until I seen what they did with Deadpool. They lost me at that point, but I actually don't hate that movie like a lot of people do. And then Matt Whitfield in with $10 super chat, even though Kieran is trolling me with that damn shirt. By the way, nice shirt, Kieran. He does look like aging wrestler Kenny Omega. Oh, geez, that's going to go to his head.
Note the aging.
I am aging.
I'll be blunt. I think Kenny Omega's overrated, but
wait, you think Kenny Omega is overrated?
I do. I think he's good, but I don't think he's the, like. I know a couple of guys that literally think he's the best wrestler to ever live, and it's just like, oh, okay. It's not where I have him, but
let's you know what? I'd rather get to the Halloween mask than argue about wrestling.
We have more time for that. We'll have to do a random wrestling Fandom Empire live, just some vintage shit. Alrighty, let's get into this, guys. It's time to do our countdown here. Top 10 Halloween masks. The way this works, as I explained off the top, is 1 mask per movie. The bandage mask was not included in our countdown. You're not going to see like 3 versions of the Halloween H2O masks on here. And the way it's going to happen is Tommy's going to give his, Kieran's going to give his, and then I'm going to give mine. But when I'm giving mine, there'll be a slide of the mask that comes up. So that slide actually only represents my pick. We definitely didn't have time to get together, combine all 3 of our lists, and make a definitive top 10. For a while, I thought it was just going to be me today. So it didn't end up that way, though. And here we are. So Tommy, why don't you take us away, starting with number 10.
We're going to go 10, then you're 10, and so on.
Yeah, you're 10, one at a time. So
okay,
yeah,
we can do that. For my number 10, I came in, I'm thinking Sean might not like this, I'm not certain, with H4's mask.
I mean, I think a lot of people are very critical of the Halloween 4 mask, myself included. Yet I think there's a lot worse than it, which gives you an idea of what I think about some of these masks.
Well, that's why it's on the list.
Well, there was only 11 possibilities, so I mean, you only cut out 1 mask. So, Kieran, what do you got, man?
I have the Resurrection mask. The Halloween Resurrection mask, I really hate. I don't know what it is about the
eyeliner.
Kind of. It's like the shape around the mouth is really weird. I don't know, but it's funny. It wouldn't have been my number 10 going into today, but going back and looking at clips, it really bothered me. Like it just seemed like the whole shape of the mask was off, and it bothered me enough to throw it all the way to the bottom. Probably would have been like 7 or 8. But, just this time around today, it was like, get down to the bottom.
Awesome. All right. Well, my number 10 is, from a movie that's not widely liked by most of the fan base. My number 10 is Halloween 5. That's right, Mr. Don Shanks, Halloween 5. That mask that we're supposed to believe is the same mask from Halloween 4, just worn and torn down over a year in the water and the explosion and all that. And oh my God, is this just okay, by the way, I don't want anybody's feelings hurt or anybody taking offense to this, because it's not what this is about. It's not about making fun of what you think is the best, because you're entitled to your opinion too. This is strictly subjective and how we feel, and you'll find that all our lists are not identical. So for me, it's Halloween 5. I fucking hate this mask. It is like if you replace the mask in Halloween 5. Okay, if you replace the mask and Tina in Halloween 5, I can probably stand the movie a lot more. But you give me Tina and that mask, and it's like, oh my God. Just, ugh. But that brings us back to the top here. Number 9. Kieran, what do you got at number 9? We'll let you go first this time.
Rob Zombie 2.
Oh, Rob Zombie 2 made your list. Wow.
Yeah, it did. Actually, off the top of my head, I can't even see which one didn't make my list.
Did you not include kills?
Wait, we're allowed to put the kills mask on here?
Yep, very much so.
All right. No, the Rob Zombie 2 did not make my list anymore. I know right where I'd put that one though, so that's cool. Okay, so my number 9 is now the H2O mask. I hate the H2O mask. Like I can't stand the scene where there's the little window hole and he sees face to face with her. I can't stand what it looks like when that happens. I hate it. It bothers me so much.
That was shot twice.
Sorry?
That scene was shot twice with 2 different masks.
Was it?
There's the one with the massive eye holes where you can see everything. And then there's the one I refer to as the alien mask, which just looks very smooth and it's just like pitch black eyes. And I still take that one over the rest of them in that movie.
It also has really round black eyes, though. It's the same, like, it's basically like, seems like the same mask, except one you see his eyes and one you don't. Either way, they're just way too big. And that's, I don't know. That part bothers me so much that I just hate that mask for pretty much that. And I mean, there was a bunch of other crazy crap in that movie when it comes to the mask, so.
Toronto Freddy's like, oh shit, there's not enough places for my top 10. Uh-oh. That sounds like it's going around, dude. Tommy, what do you got at 9, man?
My number 9 came in at the mask for Resurrection.
Nice. Well, before you even continue talking, my number 9 came in at the Resurrection mask. So go ahead. We can do this one jointly.
I just don't fucking like it. And I know at the end of the movie, you think that when it's all melted and all is a redeeming quality, but I don't even like it there.
I think that's the best the mask looks is after he gets fried.
I just don't fucking like it at all.
Take that off the screen. That's my last, because oh my God, I don't like looking at it.
I actually found, this image of it, this is down when he's in like the dungeon area below the basement. I actually don't mind it because of the blue lighting, but the eyebrows being colored in and the mouth shape that Kieran pointed out and the eyeliner, it just, it's not a good mask. I'll take the H2O mask over the H8 mask. That's just me, though. Anyways, Toronto Freddy says, my 10 is 5 and his 9 is 4. KJ says, Curse is his 9. Frank Riker says, Ben Stiller looking mask. Oh, man. Tommy, why don't you lead us off? What's your number 8, man?
Okay, my number 8 came in at the H2O mask.
H2O. Yeah, I mean, for all the reasons Kieran... Like, I don't know what the hell they were thinking in that movie. Let's use 4 different masks. The first decision was good. Let's just go back to the H6 mask. And then they scrapped it. And then we seen the alien-looking mask, which is not the same mask. And then we seen the mask with the massive, like, almost like goggles are meant to cover the eye holes. I don't know. They're huge. And it just doesn't look right. And then there was obviously everyone's favorite, the CGI mask, when the... oh man, what's his name? The kid turns around in the kitchen when he's reaching in the garbage disposal. And
Yeah.
wow, whoever worked on that, good job, man. You really knocked it out of the park. Holy crap!
It was a sign of the times, though. Like, I know I watched the video earlier, and someone was saying, like, and this was a guy who runs a Halloween stream. I can't put him over right now because I don't remember. But anyways, he said the first few times he watched the movie, he didn't even recognize it. It took until someone else said it for him to watch it and then be like, oh my God, like, that is terrible. But, like, it's not, it's one quick scene. It's not, it doesn't.
Where Michael Myers looks like this. So, yeah, oh my God.
I don't like that movie, though, either, so.
Oh, it's a bad... I mean, I know a lot of people love H2O, and if you do, kudos, all the power to you. But, like, almost nothing happened for most of the movie, and it's just like... I get what they were trying to do to have the slow build like the first movie had, but it misfired for me. But yet I do know H2O has like such a diehard fan base, including the guy above your head on the screen right now. I know is a pretty big H2O fan, and Tommy B. So Tommy B, you want to come to the defense of H2O for a second?
Not the mask.
No, the movie.
You know, I really enjoyed the whole atmosphere they brought in with H2O. You get to see Laurie Strode all these years later, see what happened to her. You know, this sort of scenario where she, doesn't die. And I think it was a car accident, and she's struggling. She is. She never really stopped living in that night of 1978. She never really moved past it, and she's taken on coping mechanisms, which she's shown that they help, but it's not a perfect cure for everything. And eventually her worst fears come to life when she meets Michael again. And personally, I really enjoyed the ending of H2O. I didn't enjoy the way the next movie started, but I really enjoyed for me, it was a nice movie, and I really enjoyed going through it.
I like the ending of it a little bit better than most of the movie. Like, I'm almost reverse your opinion on this. And, but I think the best thing about H2O is that it sets up 2018 really good, because she's like, I'm scared. And then she's like, actually, I'm not scared. Fuck you. I've been playing this forever. Like, the fact that we had a whole movie where she was just frightened set us up for this new movie where she pretty much was going to repeat the same thing. And it was like, actually, no, fuck you. I've been training in this forever. Like, I think that was kind of cool. It made H2O helped the twist that she was actually just like been training to take Michael down forever.
Wayne Gotke's in the house. He says Halloween H2O gave Michael a definitive ending that I'm not even sure Halloween Ends will be able to do. I don't want Halloween Ends to give Michael a definitive ending, but that's just me. Frank Riker says H2O masks. There's like 50 of them. Combine them all into one, Frank. They're all trash. T. Parker Evans says H2's slowness was character development for Laurie Strode, still struggling with what happened that night. It's rather a character journey film for her. I'd agree with that. I think that's very, very valid. I'm just not a big fan of it personally, but again, that I don't, have any issues with people that do like it. Whose go is it? Where are we? We're on number 8, right? Number 8, yeah. Is it my go? Did you guys both give your number 8?
Nope, I didn't.
All right, go ahead, Kieran.
My number 8 is the H5 mask. And the mask doesn't so much bother me as the fact that he never wears it in. It looks like that guy who got famous for having the giant neck. Like that cool gangster dude with the tattoos all over his neck, the giant neck.
Yeah, Mr.
It just basically looks like that guy.
He'll break your neck with his neck.
Over top of the collar the whole time. I don't understand why that was a choice at all.
No idea.
I don't know. It drove me crazy. But the mask itself would still be here. It's not my favorite mask. It probably would still be this low, but the neck part is the part that bothers me more even than the open up eye holes. The actual mask itself, other than the eye holes, doesn't look too bad. I know the eyebrows make a big difference for a lot of these masks too, and it's not my favorite in that way either. But it looks like the way it's weathered is pretty decent.
Matt Whitfield in with the super chat. Glad to be a sponsor to you fellas and being a part of the Fandom Empire family. Anything I can do to help take over the world. Appreciate it, brother. It really does mean the world. I don't know if we're going to be taking over the world. If Tommy B gets his way, maybe. Tommy, what do you have at number 8 again? I can't remember what you had.
Well, I already did my number 8, but it was H2O.
H2O, which is convenient because my number 8 is, in fact, Halloween H2O. And that's a bit of a different take on a H2O mask. It looks more closer to the original mask. This is not a movie. This is someone's mask that they've made. I'd probably like it more if it would have looked like this all movie. But yeah, no. Halloween H2O for me is Number 8, The Mask, and not the movie. Tommy, what do you got at 7, man?
My number 7 came in at, I don't want to say the only redeeming quality because the movie itself is not redeeming, but the Rob Zombie 1 mask. Might be one of the only parts of the movie that I didn't totally dislike.
All right, well, I'll go second here this time and let Kieran go last just because this is kind of hilarious at this point. My number 7 is Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 mask. That's 2 in a row in the exact same spot, man.
Mine too.
Oh, yours too? All 3 of us. Wow. It's the daily triple. All 3 of us, same mask, same spot. That's kind of incredible. The mask, when it was first released in promotional material, I loved. In the early promotional material, you couldn't see his eyes very much. And then all through the movie, his eyes stand out like a sore thumb. And as years have gone on, it has made me dislike the mask more. As you guys know, specifically Kieran from working on set with us for Haddonfield the Vanished, my rule of thumb is your eyes cannot be shown in the Michael mask. That's the way I like to present it. And so if I was to ever use that mask for anything, the eye hole's got to get covered. That's just, it ruins what looks like it could be an okay mask.
So what you're saying is I got to wear a sock over my head for that whole time?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. That's coming, man. No doubt about it. So, except for in shots that aren't close-ups, you'll be able to take off the pantyhose that Ray was using. So,
I'm bringing my own pantyhose, though. I don't trust you.
Ouch. That hurts.
That's pretty funny, actually.
That hurts, man. All right, Tommy, what do you got at 6, man?
All right, my number 6 came in at Revenge of Michael Myers, so that's number 5. Yes.
Wait, you got the number 6 mask here?
No, he's got the number 5 mask here at number 6.
Oh, okay.
Do you,
yeah.
You have anything you want to add on having this terrible mask this high on your list?
You want to throw any more sound bits in there? No, when I was doing this, I was just scrolling through images I found of different movies and such, and I guess I just gravitated towards the still I found for Revenge of Michael Myers. I didn't totally hate it, unlike others.
Nice. Kieran, what do you got?
It's a crap movie, don't get me wrong. But yeah. Well, it's not my most hated mask.
Kieran, what do you got?
Which number are we at now?
6.
We're at 6, because my list is now jumbled up, right? My number 6 is the H4 mask. I do like the H4 mask more than most people like it. It just, in H4, he seems very soulless and robotic. His movements are robotic, and the mask kind of reflects that. It's a very, almost faceless face. It's very much more white. It doesn't look like the shape of a human face as much. I know people say, since he grabbed it off of a store rack, it's a lower quality mask for that reason. I don't really buy that because I don't think they did that on purpose. But, yeah, just the way that he's kind of up and he's very robotic in his movements, and it's the first one that makes me feel like he's more of a supernatural character than possibly a human. So taking on those qualities of being not really a human made the mask actually make sense to me a little bit. It's not my favorite design for the mask, but I feel like it fits the movie really well. And, I mean, I have a little bit deeper of an opinion on it because H4 is my favorite movie, so it's my favorite Halloween movie.
I'm with you on that one, man. No argument here. Matt Whitfield sends us a super chat. Whatever mask Michael is wearing in the hot tub scene in H2 is Frank Riker's favorite for sure, which Frank replied, "You know it, brother." Bear with me, guys. I am trying to work through swelling still in the face. It's still a little tight here. So talking's not always easy. It's not easy for me normally, so imagine it now. All right. Sorry, what?
Nothing. I said nothing. Go back. Back to the show.
Are you being a dick? Is that what?
Yeah, I'm being a dick.
All right. I wish all bad things on your Habs. Tommy, have you given your 6 yet?
Yeah, I think mine was Revenge.
Yours was Revenge. So my 6 is the same as Kieran's 6. Halloween 4. That shot right there is actually my favorite shot of the mask in the movie during the dream sequence. I think it looks the most intimidating there. Pay attention to those eye holes. You're going to see them later on in this stream, and we're going to point it out. All right, let's move on to number 5. I'll lead off here. Number 5 for me is Halloween 6. I'm looking actually over across at my Halloween 6 Trick or Treat Studios mask right now. Usually sits up behind Kieran when he's here. I dig the mask because it kind of looks like an electrocuted Michael Myers. Like, it looks a little fried and grisly, and I like it. I just don't like how they executed the mask in the movie more times than not. So yeah, Halloween 6 for me. Frank Riker says eye holes or a-holes. Both, man. Both. A-holes with eye holes. Tommy, what do you got at number 5, man?
My number 5 came in at the mask that was used in Halloween 6.
Oh, look at that. Just leave it up on the screen then. Nice. The Curse of Michael Myers. The Cult of Thorn takes over the world. Kieran, what do you got at number 5, man?
I have the H2 mask, which is really the H1 mask, but like I said before, it fits different on the actor. So it, even though it's the same mask, it looks different. This is my elite part of the list, though. So this doesn't mean I don't like it at all. This is where I get to all the masks I really like. So it was harder to kind of rank them after this, but yeah, I like it. I've actually been trying to watch Halloween 2 for a while. I don't have a copy of it. I really want to watch that one again specifically, and I don't know why, but I really want to watch it, and I'm cheap and I don't want to pay for it right now. So
the setting is eerie. I mean, that's why I always want to rewatch it. The setting is eerie, and Frank's answer would be the hot tub scene. And it's okay to say the hot tub scene, man. It's cool.
Apparently that hot tub scene, I heard the water was super cold.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I heard the water. I heard the actor and actress didn't want to really do the scene, and the reason was for some reason they couldn't get hot water in there at all. It was super cold. But anyway,
for those of you that are wondering what the hell I was doing with the mask on the screen there, Melissa Todd said, "You don't actually have a Myers mask in your house, do you?" It's like, yeah, Melissa, I figured you would have seen it on all the streams. Yeah, there's 3 of them. 3 of them in this house. So
I need to get one. I really want one now. But yeah, H2 mask. I'm not going to say any more about it.
Toronto's Ready says he can't wait to get his kills masks. I believe we have Toronto Freddy, Travis Middleton's second one, and one more to get out there to people, and then we've fulfilled our commitment, which is nice. So it'd be great. So yeah, stay tuned for that. All right, my number 4 is Halloween 2, and there it is, the original mask from Halloween 1, which does not look anything like it, but it is in fact the same mask, because that is Dick Warlock wearing it and not Nick Castle. I do, for the record, I think when Nick Castle wears the mask looks scarier. There's something about Warlock's face filling out the rest of the mask that takes away a little bit from it. So I prefer Castle and the Mask over Warlock. But yeah, my number 4 is Halloween 2. What do you got at number 4, Tommy?
My number 4 came in at the Halloween Kills mask. I mean, we're getting into the area now where I'm finding it very hard to rank the masks. But, I really love the Kills mask. I'm hoping I'll love it even more once we see the actual movie. But what we know from it, I really appreciate. I like what they did to it. But at the same time, I feel like I like it unaltered more. Not burnt to a crisp. That's just me, though. I'm pretty sure, it's an aesthetic thing, and some folks are going to like it being, singed more than not.
Nice. So you had Kills at
Correct.
number 4. Kieran, what do you got at 4, man?
Kills.
Kills as well. Interesting. All right.
That's where it goes to. And it's actually, I have a very similar opinion to Tommy B. It holds a little bit of a special place to me because I've worn the mask, which is cool. And I've seen some extra of it, doing the Haddonfield the Vanished with the mask up there. And like that, I don't know, that makes it a little bit more special to me. But I do like the mask unaltered probably better. I think it's just kind of like, it's almost like an alternative. If I was going to put this in a ranking, I was going to kind of put them both together and mention the Kills mask when I talked about the 2018. But yeah, this is where it goes for me. And it's awesome. I dig it. I think they did a really great job. If it looks exactly like the one that you got there, then I think it's awesome.
Yeah, no, again, the one I have here is not the one we used on set, but the one we used on set's a little, basically we made a mask that we thought, okay, if he was actually stuck in the fire, which he is, what should the mask probably look like compared to what they did? So we did a more extreme version of it, and all I did was help, think up the idea and give the details to Mike. Mike's the artist. But all right, let's it's podium time, guys, and it's where the entire chat's about to turn on me, because at number 3 for me is the original Halloween mask. That's right, the OG, the original, Nick Castle himself. The shot actually isn't in the movie. The original mask for me, Michael Myers, 1978. It's a classic, but it's number 3 for me. What do you guys got at 3?
My number 3 came in at the 2018 mask. Like I said before, I really appreciate just the modern take on it. It brings me into it, but it just doesn't win the top spots, if you know what I'm saying. I do like it more when it's unsinged. You don't
like getting down and dirty?
I think we're at a point where it's not recency bias anymore. I can easily say that I like what technology, what development and such makes this mask to being. Maybe, in so many more years, the new mask will be even better.
I put the H6 mask here. But
nice.
It's funny. Earlier on, I was talking about the H4 mask and how much I loved how it fit the movie, and I almost want to bump that up higher. But so I'm kind of surprised that H6 made it up this high for me. But I do really like the mask. I think it's different, but I don't know if it specifically matches up with the movie. I just like the shape of it. I honestly can't really. I can't speak to it as much as I can for some of the other masks, which means I kind of feel like I should have put it lower, but I do really like the H6 mask. And I actually don't mind the H6 movie so much. I like 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. I like that timeline the most. If I'm going to watch the movies over again, I'm probably going to watch that. I've already said I don't really like Resurrection or H2O. I mean, I would watch them again, but if I'm gonna, if I'm gonna do an all-night Halloween watch-along, it's gonna be 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. So, and I do like the 6 mask. I guess the hair really brings it out too. I like the hair. It's almost like my hair. You look at it up there. Pretty similar.
Looks like my dad's hair. All right. Frank says the ears in H6 are annoying. They do stick out quite a bit.
Look at these. Look at these ears, Frank. They're all messed up and cauliflowered.
All right. I don't need. Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting it to go there. All right. So here we are on to. Wait, Tommy, you gave yours, right? Sorry, I'm losing track here, guys.
C.
All right. The runner-up now. It's not quite time for winner chicken dinner, but chicken dinner. It's runner-up time, and number 2 for me is Halloween 2018. I thought they did a marvelous job with this mask. Now, I want to remind everybody the timeline of which these movies came out. The mask before this movie was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which is basically half off of his face. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 was okay, but the big eye holes, and at the end of it was kind of eh. And then you had Resurrection, and then you had H2O. Those were the 4 last Halloween movies prior to 2018. So to see this OG, basically, Myers mask aged, and it look as good as it did, was already like a huge win for the movie. Because getting the mask right was so important. We've heard Christopher Nelson talk about it at length. We've heard David Gordon Green talk about it at length. Nailing the mask was very important to them. And so for me, it's 2018 at number 2. What do you got at number 2, Kieran?
Number 2, I have the 2018, which I really like. The weathering they did on it was awesome. I don't know. It's such an amazing movie. I really, really like 2018. I think they did a spectacular job on it. And even just the scene where he gets it out of the trunk and everything. And I don't know, they really put an emphasis on the mask in that movie. Like there's really a haunting quality about the mask and the power, the psychological power, not mystical crazy powers, but like the psychological power that he gets from having it just seems to be like a really big emphasis in the movie. So they got some really great shots of this really awesome mask. So, it's definitely a movie that just puts so much emphasis on it. And I heard they did like very specific research on how a mask like that would age and, taking into consideration that it's, been in a trunk, it's been hanging around with those people. It's been packed away in an evidence locker for so long. And how would it, they really paid attention to the weathering, and it looks amazing. There's like specific scratch marks under the eye. There's, I think there's like a hole in the neck.
Yep.
Which is
from
meant
when
to be
she gets,
from the, like it's, they did such a great job. And I guess I can't say too much more about it, but it's fantastic. And it really was a big part of the movie that drove it home.
What do you got at number 2, Tommy?
My number 2 came in at the OG, the 1978 mask. It might not be flashy, might not have the fancy schmancy weathering and what have you that we get from the newer mask. But what it does have is it's classic. It's spooky galore. And there's just something in that whole 70s feel vibe to it that gives it the spooky sensation.
Nice. I dig. All right, it's time for the winner chicken dinners here, guys. Then we'll get to the chat. By the way, if there's any, we're only going to go for about 15 more minutes here, guys. So if anybody has anything they want to chime in about, you want to talk about movie news, movie delays, Halloween kills, Halloween ends again, and then again, whatever you guys want to talk about, feel free to pump in the chat. If you want to send in a super chat to support the channel, you can do that. Or you can just focus on the normal chat because we are going to spend a lot of time there in the last 10 minutes or so. All right, Tommy, I know you just went, so we'll go to Kieran. Number one, man, what is it?
Number one. Wait, did you say me or him?
Did you say me or him?
I said Kieran.
Yeah. Oh, well, shit.
I guess you should just go fuck yourself.
I guess so. I messed up.
My number one is the original mask. It was funny. I fumbled around with the 2018 mask and the original, but I mean, a lot of my points on the 18 mask are that it's the original. It looks a lot like the original, but it's all beaten up. And honestly, nothing is as haunting as the original movie to me. And I think that's just it. Like, it's the original, and I didn't put it there just because it's the original, but it's the most haunting version of him, I think. And probably because you don't see a lot of him like just going at people. There's a lot of him just, waiting, watching, and being creepy in that movie, and that kind of brings up the actual scariness or the actual freakiness. So I didn't just do it for the reason that it's the OG. It's actually number one.
Tommy, what do you got at number one, man?
My number one came in at the H2 mask. I really appreciate how it is still the H1 mask, but it warped over time. That whole smoke, all the chemicals being in the air and what have you, just being tucked away.
Fatter
it wasn't
face.
properly stored. It's a different face filling it out. So that's what gets the top spot for me.
Well, to nobody's great surprise, my number one is the Halloween Kills mask. Now, there's obviously some bias here that goes with it. Look, we had been getting things right on this channel for a while before we ever had any mask to show off. And then I remember we did the live stream for the mask, and there was like 140 some odd people in the chat, and it was crazy. And there wasn't a single picture of it online anywhere. And we debuted the mask and put our money where our mouth was and said, look, this mask is like 95 to 99% accurate. It's not going to be totally accurate, but it's going to be close to accurate. So the fact that we were like, once we showed the mask off, it was indisputable, in my opinion, that we didn't have some connection somewhere. And it allowed people to know that they could count on us for content. In fact, I think I remember Frank Riker said, well, they definitely nailed the mask. And we did. Like, you have the mask on the one side of the screen, and then you have it right here. And obviously the one is nighttime and the other is not. But like all the way like to the little, sorry, I'm on the wrong side of the mask here, reverse. Like the spots here on the side of the face, the Joker-like incisions that you see on the masks there, the scar above the eye right here is there. The missing pieces of the hair is there. The chips off the ear. The neck is gone a little bit on the mask, which is kind of hard. So, like, we nailed that. So that's the bias portion of it. And Mike did just a fantastic job on that. But I love the look, guys. Like, I absolutely love the look of the mask. I love the burning. I love the story it tells. I love the holy crap. There's no doubt that part of that mask is singed to his face at this point. And like, it really is the boogeyman, light me on fire and I'm still going to walk through fire and terrorize you in your dreams or nightmares rather. So I dig the mask, but the part that I've noticed, and this is one part we don't have right on the mask, is if you look closely, remember, this is supposed to be in Halloween Kills, the same mask as Halloween 2018. Now, if you look closely at this mask to the mask that's from the teaser there, the eyes are different. They went and made a new mold for Halloween Kills instead of, or at least reshaped the eyes, cut out the eyes. I don't know the exacts behind it. When I asked Toronto Freddy says, just like the Remzap concept. The Remzap concept was close, but it's not where Halloween Kills is. I can tell you that much. The Remzap concept is exactly where we were with the Halloween Kills Extreme mask, which is used in Haddonfield the Vanished. Nope, Toronto Freddy has not got his yet. His is in the last shipment that's going out with his Travis Middleton's second one, and there's one more name I'm forgetting. But the eyes, guys. So you see this one, and then we go all the way back to, where's my piece of paper here? So I don't pull up the wrong image here.
Are those the four? Are those
right?
The 4 eyes?
Right? Look at the eyes. The eye shape in the mask is indisputable at this point. That it's quite literally identical to Halloween 4. I don't know why they made that change. When you go back and look at 2018, it is not the same eyes that we're seeing in Kills. I don't know why they decided to trim it. But I love the change. So that combined with my favorite movie, the story they're telling. Again, though, like as much as we've been accurate on a bunch of shit about the movie, I haven't seen this movie. Well, we're not going to see the mask in broad daylight in this movie. The whole movie's at night. So, but I'm sure there's going to be some shots in the movie that make me go, oh, it doesn't look that appealing from this angle. You know, it always is. Lighting plays such a big factor on how a mask looks. So there you have it. That is our top 10 Halloween masks. Frank Riker says it's symbolic. The mask says whatever left that was human is now burned and prepare for a rampage. Frank, call Blum, man. I know, I'm sure he's busy with one of your little punchlines you have on Dave's stream all the time. You know, he's laying in bed naked with some Cheetos and rubbing them all over his body or something while thinking about what to do with Halloween Ends. But dude, you just marketed Halloween Kills for them. The mask says whatever left that was human is now burned. Prepare for Kills, or in your case, Rampage. Excellent. Marketing done. Fucking ring up Frank Riker. Oh, shit, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one, Frank. Sorry. There we go. Kieran looks so unimpressed.
I almost threw up there when you said that.
Said what? What part? I said a lot.
I don't want to go over it again.
Now I don't know what he's referring to.
Well,
you got to say it now.
It was that Cheetos comment there.
Oh, well, you obviously don't know Frank that well then, because that's just the tip of the iceberg. Let me tell you. Anyways, let's dive into the chat, see what everybody's saying. Frank Riker sends in a $5 super chat, blowing y'all fellas kisses to follow up the Blum comment. So I'm sure that makes Kieran feel all that much better. I don't know how much time we're going to have here. We got about 8 minutes or so to go over some of the chat. Melissa Todd says, yes, Rob Zombie's masks are by far the worst. Do you guys feel that the... I noticed, wait, Rob Zombie's second mask wasn't on your list either, was it, Tommy?
Nope.
So, yeah, we all... Oh, well, you haven't seen the movie yet, though.
That mask is a piece of shit. I'll tell you what, I haven't even seen the whole freaking movie, but whenever I look for the mask, the first thing I find, and generally one of the only things I find, is that image. It's missing half the freaking mask. You see his face. You see his eye. What do you see part of his mask? What am I looking at here? Is this my mask or is it not? This is Michael freaking Myers. I don't want to see who's under the mask. It's a mask.
Tommy asks his wife for a Halloween, a Michael Myers mask for Christmas, and she walks in with the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 mask, and his response is... Oh my God, I love that.
You brought me back up.
All right.
I mean, so for the Rob Zombie movies, it was like those movies were all about him being human, though, and so like they were really different. They're kind of like they don't really belong in the timeline at all to me. But if you're taking them as their own movies, like say they didn't call them Halloween and the mask was like slightly different, and, you know, they just weren't Halloween movies, it would fit with that movie that you could see part of his face and he's human. But, like, we don't want Michael, like most of us, don't want Michael to be human. He's very inhuman. Like, so I think that's one of the things that bothers everybody. But when you think of the movie, which I'm not sticking up for that movie because the fucking dream stuff and unicorn and all that. Like, but like for that movie, it fits with that movie. It just is not really a Halloween movie. Like if they, you know, if they had a completely different mask, if he wore one of those crazy masks he made in jail and we just kept it as a completely different movie, I think the mask would be fine. It's just, we don't want to see that because he's not human to us. But in the Rob Zombie movies, he was human. He was just a fucked up human that like had, you know, mental issues. And obviously in most other Halloween timelines, he becomes a supernatural fucking entity who is the, you know, he's the very face soul of evil, you know? So I don't want to argue for the mask, but it fits the movie better than it fits any other movie.
So what you're saying is you sell the sizzle, not the steak.
Exactly. That's what I meant. That's exactly what I meant by that. That's my code I live by.
Oh, my God. Do you remember that line from Zombie's second movie? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I do. I think before I watched it, I think Jade said something about it.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was in Perp. Oh, it was one time when I came to the studio. She said it about it, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen that movie yet. So I was looking out for the line.
Well, whenever, you know, COVID ends and you actually use our washroom at some point when you're here, when you sit on the shitter, right next to you is a picture of Malcolm McDowell as Loomis, and it says, I sell the sizzle, not the steak. So a little humor we put in the house. So couldn't resist.
I like the actor, but I was like, I don't know, Loomis can't be played by anyone else. It's just obvious.
Melissa Todd says my number one would be Halloween 1, 1978. That's awesome, Melissa. Good stuff. Mike Davis says the part where he's flipping the tables was a good mask. I think he's talking H2O at that point. What else do we got here? Get Gronk's in the house supporting the Bucks moving forward as Johnny tries to find more excuses.
I've heard him. He likes to make excuses every day on our football chat.
Yeah, that I'm glad I'm not part of it and I don't have to listen to it. So, nothing worse than listening to somebody that has no idea what they're talking about.
Good question here by Mark Smith. It says, how many changes will the Kills mask go through?
I know one for sure. There's absolutely one for sure. And I can guarantee you that the mask will look slightly different, probably more than slightly different come Halloween ends. Because at the end of the day, what were we talking about at the beginning? Everything's about the dollar bills, y'all. I believe that's how the young crew say it. The young and hip people. Toronto Freddy says, I have no interest in those figures for personal reasons. I will not support TOTS directly. Well, at $160, I don't have interest in that figure. I can tell you that much. That it was heartbreaking for me. Definitely a bummer. Frank Riker said, I guess everyone's favorite was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 mask then. Oh, dude, don't insult us. You know, the one thing I noticed throughout the chat is there's a lot of like different opinions on where people like the masks. I just assumed it would just be everyone's number, you know, the original. It's got to be the original, but it doesn't look like it was that tonight. So that's kind of cool. There's still more originals than anybody else, but yeah. Name a better YouTube content creator, insider info than Fandom Empire. I'll wait. These boys know someone. We all don't, so be grateful and do not question what they have to say. You don't have to agree, but respect Fandom. There are much bigger YouTube channels than we are that cover a lot of stuff that we don't, who are far more in the know-how than we are. We're just really lucky to have our a couple of connections on specifically the Blumhouse side of things. And then even to a lesser extent, we get some Star Wars stuff before some of the other places do. But, it's luck. Everybody lives somewhere in life where they happen to know somebody or go to school with someone, or their neighbor was someone, or their cousin was best friends with someone. I know it all sounds cliche, but all these things really do exist, The world is not as big as many people believe. And Jade is back just as we're ending. I thought the lists were fun, guys. I enjoyed them quite a bit. Tommy, what do you think of the show in general and the list?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but I just stumbled upon some news that I want to pick your brains out about for about 45 seconds to a minute. So wrap it up.
What?
Wait, you want to end the show or you want to talk about it on the show?
I want to talk about it on the air because I think some people in the audience might care about it.
Okay,
I can stay up.
Take it away.
All right.
Insider Tommy.
Any of you geeks out there may have, whether you game or not, you might have checked out G4 TV back in the day. I think they ended around 14. That's too late, isn't it? So they used to have these really popular shows on this channel called Attack of the Show and X-Play. And, they would talk everything from, geek pop culture, tech developments, whether, domestic or abroad, the latest gaming news. They'd cover San Diego Comic-Con. It was fan-freaking-tastic. And I've talked about it on the channel a couple times, just indirectly. Apparently, G4 TV tweeted today on Twitter that they're coming back, and they're coming back with Attack of the Show and X-Play. So Tommy B's freaking excited. I'll tell you what. I think I was in elementary school watching this stuff, middle school. I think by the time it was in high school, was wrapping up, they became mostly a channel for replaying old episodes of Cops and Cheaters. But this is hype. Either you guys have any history with G4? You ever check out Attack of the Show, X-Play? There was a show called Cheat where they broke down cheat codes and all kinds of hacks in the games, and they had esports too when it was still very early on. You ever check out any of this stuff?
I feel like I'm too old for whatever you're talking about.
I'm not gonna lie. As soon as he went there, I'm just like, oh, I have no idea what he's talking about.
How do you have no idea what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Do you want the smart ass answer or the real answer?
I'm going with
smart ass answer is more entertaining.
I'm going with Kieran's idea. Y'all are too old. You're old.
Toronto Freddy says, what happened with the supposed Halloween Kills news today? Well, if you go back and listen to our stream yesterday, we never said there was going to be Halloween Kills news today. Someone else on Twitter said there was going to be Halloween Kills news today, to which I replied, and Tommy, you'll remember this because you were sitting right here with me. I said, quote, if it's anything, it's not going to be anything groundbreaking, and I know of 2 images that still haven't been released that I've personally seen. So, and quote, one of them is firefighters, so maybe you think that's great and maybe you don't. But that's coming. And then there's another one. So, which is more of a behind the scenes group photo. So, nothing came to my knowledge today. I don't see anything. Nothing's come across the pipeline. I've been not messaged by anybody about it. So I'm guessing nothing came of it. Again, and I'm not saying Freddie said this, but just to be clear, we did not report that anything was coming today. We were addressing a rumor that was, I believe it started on Twitter and made its way to a few other channels. When we're pretty sure stuff's coming, we usually just come out right with it and say that it's coming. For example, like this. There's a pretty massive movie delay likely coming in the next week or so. And I know it's not Halloween Kills, although I suspect it's still going to move. I'll have to wait and see. The other thing, guys, I was looking for shits and giggles when the little guy was napping today. I was looking at the September release date because I started to, really toy around with the idea that they could target September. Quiet Place 2 moved to the middle of September. So, it's really getting filled up there during that time now. And you could still release after Quiet Place 2 and have breathing room before Dune. But it's things are tight. I think just the whole movie industry has decided that there's not going to be a summer movie season, that things are really going to start to pick back up in the fall. At least they hope. And, the way that it ends up happening is you got a bunch of movies all piling into a small pool together, and eventually some are going to get knocked off, And the bigger movies that move to these months that cost, $100 million, $150 million, movies that cost lots of money, they don't give a shit about, oh, hey, there's that little horror movie there that cost $23 million to make after a rebate. Yeah, they don't care. They're going to go where they want to go and expect you to adjust to them. So, Frank Recker says, I smell box office records if theaters open in the fall. I do agree, Frank, specifically financially, on the overall number. I know you brought up on our stream yesterday that everything's going to cost more, and it will. I can't believe there's people out there that actually think that movie tickets are either going to stay the same or be cheaper. They'll be cheaper in the summer when you can go see a bunch of your old movies, but once the new stuff is, fully out there and everyone's back in a theater, it's going up. It is going up. That's just the way it is, Paid $1.13 today for gas, or yesterday for gas. That's for a liter. So, closing thoughts? Tommy, Kieran, anything? What's going on with the Rick and Morty show, Kieran? People want to know.
Honestly, I could do it anytime now. I really wanted theme music done by my brother.
Well, you got a month.
And we're going to have a fun time with that theme music, but I can't go over to his house to record it. So that's pretty much the only thing we're waiting on. I have the whole first episode planned out. I would encourage anyone on here, if you've seen me in the last couple days, I hosted the stream on Tuesday. I hosted the stream on Monday because Sean's problem with his voice, or more with his tooth abscess, I think.
Yeah, it's gone now, though. Thank God.
Yeah, but if you see me host the show, or if you've seen me on previous streams where I like to get wacky and do fun stuff and have fun costumes, and it's going to be that times 10. I'm honestly, I really enjoy entertaining people, and I don't at all mind if I bomb and do something stupid and people don't like it. So, if you like listening to me on these streams, then take a trip through Rick and Morty with me. Even go watch it. Go watch episode number 1, the pilot episode. We're going to talk about it on the first episode. And we're thinking first week of March, but could even be sooner than that, because I don't think we're going to get music before then anyways. So that's the only thing holding it up. I think I might have to wait until we get the music. Might have to use the good old Fandom Empire music for a bit.
When it's, we can also take a look on Audio Jungle. So they might have some fan knockoff Rick and Morty stuff. So. And it's original, and we can use it without copyright blocking or anything of that dumb shit. Roy Roderick says, hey, Phantom Empire, can I still buy a Blu-ray of Haddonfield the Vanished? You'll have another opportunity to do that, but we aren't accepting any more perks right now at the moment, just because we have no idea when we can go back to shooting this thing. I came on here a few weeks ago and reiterated to everybody that there is no guarantee that Haddonfield the Vanished will be ready by October the 8th. We're going to do everything we can to have that movie ready for October the 8th. But after sitting down and talking with Jade about it, and I talked with Ray about it, and even reached out to Dave McRae and got his advice on it. And well, what we have is really good. We still need to shoot a lot more, and the place we need to rent isn't even an option to rent right now. And the other thing we fall into, by the time it is an option to rent, it'll likely cost significantly more than it did when we rented it the last time. So there's some budgetary concerns now too, but that's welcome to COVID. It fucks everything up, and you just sort of gotta make do with what you have. Make no mistake, Haddonfield the Vanished is coming, along with some other cool shorts and possibly even a prequel. And so there's a lot to look forward to. I know I want to connect with Toronto Freddy too and do like a Freddy short as well. But again, our hands are all tied during this mess. There's not a whole lot we can do at this point in time other than wait. Like, I can't even have Kieran in my studio here, Kieran and Johnny for the Star Wars show. So it's the hand that we're dealt, but it's most important that we all just stay safe and get through this together so we can enjoy things on the other side of this shit. Tommy, my main man, you and I have some Smallville to finish on this channel, so I imagine we're going to do a stream at some point this weekend other than the watch-along. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, most likely.
You guys are doing a watch-along?
We are watching the first Scream movie.
Oh, yes.
With Frank and Darren. It's
Frank is going to be so pissed.
I want to be in the chat for that.
That's going to be the real show of this stream right here, folks. It isn't going to be us talk about Scream. It's going to be Frank screaming because he don't like Scream. That's it.
I might make a drinking game of this legitimately, where every time Frank looks pissed off at what he's watching, I might take a shot until I have to tap out. So, yeah, anyways, that's this Sunday, 5:00 Eastern. We host the Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast, guys, Frank and Darren. It's going to be so much fun. Still kind of can't believe they came to us with the idea of doing it. Well, we came to them about the idea of doing a watch along together, but they came back to us with Scream, which was just remarkable. Obviously, I was never going to pass that one up. But
I scream for ice cream. Frank screams at Scream. It's gonna be pretty.
What exact minute are you starting that? I can't miss a minute of that.
Just be in the chat ahead of time, and we'll be all good because I'm sure we'll talk.
I think we're currently scheduled to begin at 5 p.m. Eastern. I think.
So I'd say be in the chat by 4:50. The first 10 or 15 minutes will probably just be the 4 of us chatting, and then we'll dive into the movie. It's gonna be a hoot. So you have that to look forward to on Sunday. Tommy and I will likely be live at some point during the weekend, maybe even Jade as well. So get her back on air here. And then on Tuesday, we have the Star Wars show. You might see something with Ian and I. I know I got to reach out to him tonight. The time zone is just, it's so fucked up trying to work with someone who's 14 hours difference than you.
Yeah.
So that's messed up. But we got Star Wars show on Tuesday. And then next Thursday, we welcome Dave McRae and Jimmy Champagne to the channel to talk everything Halloween Kills, the likelihood of how it'll be released and when it'll be released and what we can expect and all that much more. Tommy, where can everybody find you at, man?
All right. Well, everyone can catch me on Facebook, hanging around the channel's Facebook groups. Check out the Future of Halloween, our Halloween group, and the Fandom Empire Den, the channel's group. You can catch me personally hanging out over on Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650.
Kieran, where can everybody find you at, man?
Honestly, you can find me in the Fandom Empire Den all the time. I love to reply to all of our community's comments. Anyone that gets in there with anything that is like interesting to me, like as long as you're not commenting about Harry Potter, I can probably throw something in there. And I like to talk to everybody there. So find me there, or if you find me, just add me as a friend. I never have too many friends on Facebook. So
good stuff. Don't forget, you can check us out on Twitter, on Instagram at FandomEmpireNow, on Patreon, www.patreon.com/FandomEmpire. We offer 3 exclusives over there. Number 1's the Lampkin Lane Halloween Patreon show, exclusively for Lampkin Lane users. We offer the Fandom Empire Underground show, where we're a little more blunt about what we have to say and don't really worry about hurting anyone's feelings. And we cross into territories we can't on YouTube on an open show. And that's for all tiers. And then we have, coming in March, the Camp Haddonfield podcast returns exclusively on Patreon. And be on the lookout, because I believe if you're a Star Wars fan, Kieran and Tommy and Thaden might be tackling a series of pre-produced short videos on breaking down the different characters and factions, and even a review of what's going on in Star Wars: The High Republic. For Kieran and Tommy, and for our chat mods, Tommy B, Jade, Toronto Freddy, Frank Riker, Matt Whitfield, and I don't think I missed anybody else since Tommy's in the chat or on the stream. I'm Sean. Thanks for joining us. Have a good fucking night, everybody. Ciao.